Ron DeSantis' vaccine distribution scandal has entered its second day with new details of how bad, how biased the choice to set up this pop-up vaccination clinic in a very hoity-toity private planned community actually was. But this time, Ron DeSantis, while still the bad guy, doesn't seem like the worst individual person in this story. So let's transition now to Manatee County Commissioner Vanessa Bowe, who admitted yesterday that she, quote, wanted to make sure certain people were on the list for vaccination after emails revealed that she directed county officials to create a list to let her and others jump the line. So it's not just that they're letting the rich folk do this or just putting it in an area for rich folk. She wants to be at the head of the line. In response to criticism that county officials had only permitted residents from the 2 richest zip codes in the county to get vaccinated at the event, Bowe further admitted that she picked the zip codes herself. So yesterday, we found out that they went into this place in this county and they said, in that county, we're gonna go to the richest little areas, which are connected to a couple that gave Ron DeSantis $900,000 over 2 years. So that is terrible. Ron DeSantis comes in and says, oh, you don't want it in your county? Well, then I'll take it out. As if that was what the criticism was at all, that the whole county doesn't want vaccines. That's not remotely what anyone was talking about. Now we found out that the person who directly set it up not only picked those zip codes, but also had a VIP list that she was on to get vaccinated early. This is one of the most corrupt stories of the entire pandemic, a pandemic that has been full of corruption from top to bottom.
I'm gonna put elitism inside your elitism inside your elitism.
The turducken of elite corruption.
It is, listen, you're all chosen by me and you're the fantastic, the golden manatees. But we need a subsection of diamond crusted platinum golden manatees. And so like that's something I want to be there for, is when they thought that they were all in that zip code. The people who watched Fixer Upper and were like, we'll get the worst house in the best neighborhood, people right on the county line be like, we're made it. We're in 05923. Yes, it happened. And only to then say, where's my vaccine? And then them to say, oh, I'm sorry. It's just Kathleen and Claude who are on the list right now. I am so sorry for you.
I hate those two so much, 100%. And I'm glad that I've recently started watching Fixer Upper, so I got that reference you made. By the way, Streamin' and Creamin' says my Twitch channel is an escape from me living in Florida. That doesn't make it right though. But anyway, yeah, you're right. Like no, you just because you live in a county with the richies doesn't mean you're anything other than the peasant they want you to be. But anyway, look, there's other stuff. It involves a real estate developer, Rex Jensen, who's involved in this and was a big donor too. He's gonna get to cut the line. Others get to cut it by being on this VIP list, which is just madness. But anyway, look, there's other details in all of that. It's all available if you're interested. But this is one of the problems with like when Biden says we came in and there was no vaccine plan and people lose it. Like I think it was who's the guy who just got the new Fox Business show? Anyway, he says, how dare they say that? That's insane. We had a plan, but no, you didn't have a plan. The plan was we send it to the states and the states figure it out. And look, that's faster and more efficient in some way, having them all decide it, but it led to a lot of problems. And now it's also leading to corruption. And the thing is, this one has been discovered. But if you give humans access to, they get to decide who gets it first. How many Frodos are there out there who will not be corrupted by that power? How many Samwise Gamgees? I think there's a lot more, like stewards of Gondor. I'm going too far with this. I think, look, most people are gonna be too tempted by that power. And you're never gonna get rid of all of the corruption, but you are giving it to people to dole out to political donors, to themselves. It's insane.
Yeah, and this will happen, and this is why I like progressivism over any other like governing premise, because progressivism is just all about getting rid of that kind of corruption, is to have checks on that kind of corruption, whether it be in a capitalist system, a socialist system, a communist system, and an anarcho-communist system. It has to be there. It has to be a check on what we all can look around and recognize it is that temptation. And when they say, I love it, and it's Kudlow, right? That's the one who had the
Kudlow,
the show. Yeah. So Kudlow, when they say we had
Navarro, but it was Kudlow. Yeah.
Yeah. When they say we had a plan, it's like, yes, my plan was my friends. Like that's not. Yes, you're right. Let me rephrase. You had a terrible plan, or your plan was we give it to the states and just deal with it. We don't want any responsibility whatsoever. But you still need to have responsibility because you guys are the ones with the vaccines. So you have the power, but with that power should come some sense of responsibility. And if you're not gonna take that seriously, then it's up to us, people in the media, and just the general public to call that out when it happens. It's horrifying.
Yeah,
but not shocking.
And look, one of the good things about doing this live and having the chat is I can get fact checked. I know that Frodo was eventually corrupted by the ring. I get it. That's a spoiler though. I don't want to ruin the story for everyone.
Anyway, it just came out.
And Sam would have too. I love him. He's the true hero of the story, but he would have been corrupted. He only had to carry Frodo for a little bit. Anyway, so hopefully, I mean, look, what's funny is that in New York, after some of the hiding of information about nursing home deaths, Cuomo might lose his sort of unilateral control to set pandemic policy. I haven't heard about anything like that about DeSantis yet. If DeSantis is doling out vaccines to his big political donors, I would imagine you'd strip him there. But the issue is that one is a state controlled by Democrats, one is a state controlled by Republicans. Those Republicans, they're not interested in chastising Ron DeSantis. They're interested in getting put on the VIP list.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.